Before the Celts, before the pyramids, before history itself was written, a ghost haunted the land we now call Ireland. A single reindeer bone, butchered by human hands, found in a cave in County Clare, rewrites everything we thought we knew. It's a clue left behind 40,000 years ago, proof that a mysterious people walked this island, only to vanish into the ice. This is the story of Ireland's true first settlers, a tale of survival against impossible odds, fought across millennia of ice and thaw. Our story begins not in a green and pleasant land, but on the edge of a colossal ice sheet. 40,000 years ago, Paleolithic hunters, the very first humans to set foot on the island, made their way across a land bridge from Britain. They were phantoms, leaving almost no trace except for that one single bone. For thousands of years, the ice advanced and retreated, a relentless frozen tide. Each time it pulled back, a new wave of pioneers would venture into the desolate tundra that was ancient Ireland. These were Mesolithic people, hunter-gatherers arriving around 8000 BC. They didn't come by land but by sea in simple skin boats, navigating the treacherous waters of the newly formed Irish Sea. Imagine their arrival. A world of dense forests teeming with giant Irish elk, wild boar, and brown bears. The rivers choked with salmon. For these small, nomadic family groups, it was a paradise but a dangerous one. They lived in circular huts made from saplings and animal skins, constantly on the move, following the herds and the seasons. Their tools were microliths, tiny, razor-sharp pieces of flint used to make arrows, spears, and knives. We find our campsites scattered along coastlines and riverbanks. Places like Mount Sandel in County Derry, one of the oldest known settlements in Ireland. Here, archaeologists found the remains of post holes, hearths, and thousands of discarded tools, painting a vivid picture of daily life 10,000 years ago. They hunted, they fished, they foraged for nuts and berries. Their world was elemental, a constant dance with nature. But how did these isolated groups communicate, trade, or even survive the harsh winters? The answer lies in the very landscape they inhabited. If you're enjoying this journey into Ireland's deep past, make sure to subscribe for more hidden history. The rivers were their highways, the coasts their trade routes. Archaeologists have found stone axes made from porcelainite, a specific type of rock found only on Rathlin Island and Tavebolliag Mountain in Antrim, hundreds of miles away from where they were discovered. This proves these early communities weren't isolated. They were connected, trading not just goods, but ideas, stories, and beliefs. Their spiritual world is a mystery, but we see glimpses of it. Strange geometric engravings on rocks and the careful burial of their dead, often with tools or ornaments, suggest a belief in an afterlife, a world beyond the one they knew. For 4,000 years, this Mesolithic way of life endured. They were masters of their environment, perfectly adapted to the forests and coasts of ancient Ireland. But then, around 4000 BC, everything changed. A new wave of people arrived, and they brought with them a revolution that would reshape the island forever. These were the Neolithic farmers. They came from the continent, bringing with them domesticated animals like cattle, sheep, and goats. They brought seeds for wheat and barley. They weren't just living off the land anymore. They were taming it. This was the dawn of agriculture in Ireland. It was a seismic shift. They cleared the ancient forests with polished stone axes, creating the first fields. They settled down, building permanent, rectangular timber houses, forming the first villages. Life was no longer a nomadic chase. It was a settled cycle of planting and harvesting. With permanent homes came a population boom. And with a larger population came something extraordinary, the need to mark their place in the world, to build monuments that would last for eternity. This is the era of the megaliths, the great stone tombs. Places like Palnabrone Dolmen in the Burren, its capstone weighing tons, were built as sacred burial places for their most important dead. They were more than tombs. They were territorial markers, spiritual centers, and a link to the ancestors. The most famous of all is the Br na Boyne complex, a UNESCO World Heritage Site that includes Newgrange, Noath, and Douth. Built over 5,000 years ago, Newgrange is older than Stonehenge and the Great Pyramids of Giza. It's a massive circular mound covering an acre of land, constructed with 200,000 tons of stone. Its builders transported giant white quartz rocks from the Wicklow Mountains, 80 kilometers to the south, and rounded granite cobbles from the Mourne Mountains, 50 kilometers to the north. But its true secret is hidden inside. A 19-meter-long passage leads to a central chamber. For a few days each year around the winter solstice, the rising sun shines directly down this passage, illuminating the chamber in a blaze of golden light. This wasn't just a tomb. It was a celestial clock, a temple to the sun, a symbol of rebirth. It demonstrates an incredible understanding of engineering, astronomy, and social organization. To build something like Newgrange required a huge, coordinated workforce, a society with leaders, planners, and a shared, powerful belief system. These Neolithic people also developed pottery, allowing them to store food and water, transforming their society. They created intricate art, spirals and chevrons carved into the stones of their tombs, patterns whose meanings are lost to us but speak of a complex symbolic world. From the first phantom hunters of the Ice Age to the master builders of Newgrange, this was the dawn of Irish culture. A story of 38,000 years of adaptation, innovation, and the enduring human spirit, etched into the very stones of the land. Subscribe to uncover more stories history tried to hide.